Hi, I'm Vicky from Studio 21 and this is part one of my Sport to Yoga series. Today we're going to be doing some recovery work with a foam roller. So this is a foam rolling session. You might do this, like I say, on one of your recovery days, or you might do it as part of your warm-up before you start training or after training. Either way, it's really good for helping sore muscles. There's been some studies that have shown that it can help reduce DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness, after exercise. It feels nice, not always comfortable, but we'll get to that when we get into it. Give it a go. So all you need is a foam roller. This is one of the half-size ones. You can also do it with one of the longer ones, so they come in two sizes. It doesn't matter that this one's got the texture on it. I also use like a smooth foam roller as well. You need a mat or a soft surface, and we're going to include full body today. We're going to start with the legs. So sitting onto your mat and maybe starting towards the back of the ankles, lower calves, hands behind for a little bit of support. We'll keep the pelvis down on the floor for now and just kind of using the legs to start to roll. And the idea is that we're performing self-massage. So obviously the harder we press down with the legs, the more we're going to feel it. And just making sure to turn out and to turn in, just so we're getting every little area. And once you feel you've done the lower part of the calf muscles, let's move up to the mid part. And again, this is where I feel all my tension. You're rolling in and you're rolling out. Got a squeaky foam roller as well. And then let's move up to that upper part of the calf. So I'm doing both legs at a time now, and this is probably how you would start. And then if you feel that there's a particular area, maybe in one calf, so for me, it's kind of the middle part of this right calf, you're going to cross your other leg over the top, which puts that little bit more weight down through into the roller, and then we can roll. Not always comfortable. So I was going to start with like a morning mobility sports yoga session, but as I'm feeling a little bit sore today after yesterday's run, I thought it might be a good idea to show you all some recovery techniques with the foam roller. So if there's a particular spot, you can feel it right there, that you feel like, yes, you can definitely feel that. You're going to hold that position for just say 30 seconds, roughly. And the idea is that by the end of the 30 seconds, some of that tension in the muscles should have released and relaxed. So I can kind of feel that happening already, actually. It's probably about 30 seconds. I'll give it another little roll. Yeah, that definitely feels better already. I'm going to go onto my left side. I'm going to do the same. So I'm going to try and find, yeah, it's about the same place, a little spot. I'm just going to hold it there, hold it still. Taking some deep breaths in and out. And just see if, yeah, so about now, that tension's just starting to ease. And then I'm going to get a little bit of movement back into that area. That feels good. I like to do the back of my knees as well. At some point, or if you want to work a little bit more, you could always just lift your pelvis up off the floor. So we kind of use a little bit more strength in the upper body to get moving. So I always like to roll the back of my knees as well. That always feels quite nice to me. And then let's move on to hamstrings. So muscle on the back of the thighs. Again, we're going to start with the lower part of it. We're going to need to lift up off the floor this time. And just like we did with the calves, we're rolling out and we're rolling in, as well as doing that middle part of the muscle. Just trying to cover every angle. And then let's move it up to the middle part of the hamstring. Same thing. And some days this might feel really nice, other days not so good. Depends what you've been doing, what muscles you've been working. And then let's go higher. So for me, this is where there's a little bit more tension. Upper part of the hamstrings. Rolling in, rolling out, so we get the inner part of the muscle, outer, and like I say, that middle area as well. Probably the same with your hamstrings. If there is an area that you feel you need to do a little bit more work on, you can pause there for 30 seconds. In fact, let's try what we did with the calf as well. When we work single leg with the hamstring, especially if you've got the shorter roller, you want to move the leg that you're working more into the middle. Other leg can just cross over the top for a little bit more weight. And I'm just going to rock to my left side a little bit because this is my left hamstring that I'm rolling. Definitely feel that a little bit more. Let's see if I can find a spot that feels like, oh yeah, could do with a little bit of a release. So I'm just going to hold it here, try and relax my leg. And either 30 seconds, or if you feel that tension eases quite a bit before the 30 seconds, you can stop and move on to the next one. That'll do for that left leg. So I'm going to put my right leg centre of the roller, starting on that upper part. Other leg's going to cross over. I'm just going to slightly rock to my right to put a bit more weight through it. Can I find a spot? If you can't find a spot, you don't have to hold it for 30 seconds. Oh yeah, about there. So just taking those deep breaths in and out. Especially important if it feels like there's a lot of tension in the muscle. You want to make sure that you're not holding your breath. Almost there with this side. And then let's roll back. Okay, so we've done back of the legs. I'm going to move on to the front of the legs now. We're going to work quads, quadriceps, 4 muscles on the front of the thighs. There's a couple of different ways to do this. We'll start with just one thigh on the roller. And like I said, this might be a little bit easier to do as well when you've got the smaller one. So you're just going to lie on your front. And the other leg can just kind of stay on the floor for support. And actually I'm going to start closer to my knee first of all. And just rolling up and down. Inside, the middle, and the outside. I can definitely feel a couple of tight spots there. With all these areas, so calves, hamstrings, quads, if you're looking to do full body, you might want to do 2 minutes in each area. I'm going to move on to the middle part of the quad now on this side. If you were doing rolling for a specific area, say if you'd had issues with your calves, you could do a full, say 10-minute session just on your calves. And then I'm going to move higher up into that upper part of the quad. So for me, this doesn't feel as tight as the lower bit right near my knee. Of course, everyone's different. Trying to again roll the outside, the middle, and the inside. And then we're going to change legs. I'm going to turn this way just so you can see. So this time it's going to be my right leg, and I'm going to leave my left knee down on the floor just as a little bit of support. Yep, this is the same on this side as well for me. It feels quite tight and a bit closest to my knee. And then I'm going to move up to the middle part of the calf. I feel like I'm moving further back there. Getting the inside, the outside, and the middle. And for the last bit, I'm actually going to move up my mat just a touch. I'm going to get this upper part, so more kind of upper thigh, maybe even a little bit into the hip flexor if that feels okay. So like I say, the more body weight you put through the roller, the more you're going to feel this. And then lastly, for the quads, if I'm ever in a little bit of a rush, what I'll tend to do is do them both at the same time. It does turn into a little bit of like a feeling like a plank or a half plank. So both legs. In this position, you probably just want to make sure that you're not dipping down too much into your lower back. So it probably will feel like a plank if you're trying to hold a good position. Again, we can roll the legs in and out, and we can adjust our body so we get the lower part, middle part, and that upper part of the quad. And when the quads are done, next one, let's go inner thighs. So, it tends to be a little bit of a tricky one to get to on the mat, this one. Let's go. So you're going to lie down on your front. So for me, this is my left inner thigh, and I'm just going to roll out and in. Feel that straight away. And to be honest, even in this position that you're in, you'll be feeling a little bit of a stretch as well as that massage. We can adjust the position of this foot as well, kind of bringing it lower or higher, depending on how that's feeling. Yeah, I often forget about this one. Sometimes I miss it out of my routine, but it's definitely worth doing and adding in, especially if you're doing a lot of running at the minute. And then let's go other side. I'm going to turn around again just so you can see properly. So lie down on your front, bring that inner thigh on top of the roller. Again, whatever, oh, that feels tight, whatever this leg wants to do. Like I say, it can be a bit of an awkward one, this one. And you can keep it moving, different areas again. It might be easier to break each part of the body, whatever we're working, into 3 areas, because there's always going to be, you know, an upper, a middle and a lower area. Almost done on this one. Like I said, this is a stretch in itself as well as self-massage. And then when you've done that right one, let's move on to, let's do IT band next. Probably everyone's least favourite, particularly my least favourite as well. Okay, so the roller is going to go right kind of just underneath your hip joint. Your underneath leg is going to be straight. So we're kind of on our side, and this top leg just bends in front for a little bit of support. We're in like a bit of a side plank position. And exactly the same with this one. We're going to do the upper part, the middle part, and the lower part closest to the knee. And we're going to roll in and roll out. So for a lot of people, this can be the one that feels maybe the least comfortable. I don't think I've ever done it when it hasn't felt uncomfortable. So really getting into that upper part. Let's try the middle next. Oh, this feels a little bit tighter than the upper part. And like I say, as with anything, if it is feeling quite intense, make sure you're breathing through it to try and relax your muscles, relax your body. I'm probably not going to do 2 minutes on this one. Let's move it down a little bit lower. So it's at that bit just above the knee. It's also actually quite a lot of work on this underneath side of the body, because you kind of end up, like I say, in this side plank position. Definitely getting into it there. And then, let's give it a go on the other side. My legs actually are feeling lighter already. So, upper part, down into that side plank position. Underneath leg straight, top leg is going to bend in front just for a little bit of support. Maybe not feeling quite as tight on this side. And about you today? Getting that upper part of the muscle. And then moving the roller down to get the middle part. Yeah, definitely not feeling as tight on this side. And try not to just go in that straight line. Remember the turn in, turn out. So we get the inside and the outside. And then let's go the lowest part near the knee. This side feels okay today. I say through gritted teeth. That will do for that left IT band. Okay, next one. Let's go into glutes. So we are going to sit onto the roller, and let's say we'll work our right side first. So right leg is going to lift and cross your leg over, and maybe kind of tipping a little bit to the right just to roll. So we're trying to go into the flesh, like kind of the fleshy, muscly part of the area. So not going into the sacrum where it's quite flat and bony of the lower back. Again, maybe going just a little bit over to the side, this right side. Definitely feeling that one. Again, this is another one where we're in a stretch position to start with. So we're stretching and then we're massaging those muscles. And like I say, if you feel any particular areas of tension, that's where you're just going to pause. You can press pause on the video, hold it for 30 seconds before we move on to the next one. Okay, that's enough for that right side. Same on the other side. So we're going to cross the left leg over, maybe slightly tip into this left side and rolling through this left glute muscle. Just changing your movement round, inside, outside. Almost there with the glutes, keep going. Maybe you can pause me if you need to stay a little bit longer in a particular spot. If you do, 30 seconds should be enough. And that'll do for that left glute. Okay, we have got 2 more areas left. One is the lower back. So for the lower back, we're just going to put the roller behind us. We'll do upper back first. So the roller wants to be just kind of underneath the shoulder blades. And let's just place the hands, clasp the hands together behind the head. We're going to use the hands to support the head and the neck. Pelvis lifts off the floor, and we're just going to get this mid-back area. So we're kind of pushing through the feet and moving the body up and down on the roller and just supporting the neck. And you might hear some little cracks and creaks. I know I am in my shoulders and mid-back. So the hands are there just to support the weight of your head. You might need to be higher, you might want to be lower down. And then let's do just underneath the shoulder blade. So we're more or less coming from the same position. Just going a little bit lower, because when we do the lower back, we need to slightly change our position. And then just bring the pelvis down. Before we move on to the lower back, you might just want to stretch over the roller and just see how that feels. I'm almost into the fireplace here. So I'm going to move over a little bit on the mat. Okay, last one we're going to do is the lower back. For the lower back one, we're going to lift the pelvis. So it's not quite where it was for our glutes. It's a little bit higher up the back, so more towards like the lower back than when we did the glutes. Hands are behind us for support, and then we're just going to roll. You might want to bring your hands further out to the side. And sometimes for this one as well, I'll bring my kind of forearms down onto the floor for a little bit of support. Well, this is where the roller eats your t-shirt as well. There we go. Squeaky roller again. And then bringing the pelvis down. Let's just bring the roller back under the shoulders, hands behind your head. Keep your head supported so your head doesn't have to go to the floor, but just see if you can stretch back and over. Let your elbows open just a little bit wider. Take a deep breath in and out, and one more. And then let's bring the head up, push yourself up, come off your roller. And well done, that's the end of the session. I'm going to be releasing another 3 sports yoga videos on a weekly basis. So like I said, this is video 1. Keep your eyes peeled for the other 3. Thanks now, see you soon.